So here's the detail on the windows. This is if you remember, I made all the studs at the bottom of the windows at an angle, put them in at an angle so that I could put this board on and any water will run down and run off. So I've left the bark edge on this one, and that's 175 millimeters deep. The sides, this piece, is 150 millimeters because obviously that's straight and square to the window. Cut at the angle at the bottom to match the slope of the sill. And now when the new boards, the cladding boards, go on, let's just put that one there for now, you see they'll have something to butt up against, so it'll make it a really neat job. And then up the top you can see that piece, which is on here, is cut back to that, cut back flush with the head of the window. And what will probably happen when I get up to that point with the cladding, I'll cut an angle here to match whatever angle the cladding is sitting at that point. So that way the cladding will come down past the head of the window here, and that's why that's flush with it, and then any water will drip clear of the head. So they're the three parts. Obviously there'll be two sides, 150 wide, the sill 175 wide, and the top, which is 100. That side isn't on yet, but you get the idea. I'll just show you a little detail on the cladding here. These boards, the bottom lot of boards, fortunately, were long enough to do the whole width in one go, but I've only got so many of that length, so some of them have got to be joined. So this board here and this board here have got to be joined. So what I've done is I'll put the long one up first, and my upright, you can see the staple in there. That's where my upright is. So I've run that past, and then I've used a level to put an upright line, pencil line on there. Then this other shorter board, I've fixed it in place there and passed it through underneath, so it goes past that line. You can't see it now, but it comes past that upright line. So now what I'll do is I'll put a timber behind here just to push the whole thing away from the wall slightly, and then I'll run through that line with a little circular saw, which will cut through both boards, and then once the two pieces offcuts are removed, that should give us a perfect join. And the fact that there's a board pushing it out means the cuts end up slightly longer, which means when you push the whole thing back to the wall, they should meet up. Let's see how it goes. Actually, just going to push my level up there. I think that should be enough. Now I want to check the depth of the blade so I don't cut through the felt and the insulation. Take that back in a bit. There we go. Battery's a bit low. Get my nail gun. I'll show you. There's the cut. So when you push them both back to the wall, that's a beautiful join. Just wipe the dust off that. Yeah. Just about perfect. Get that nailed. Not bad. Not bad at all. So this is where we're at now, and I thought I'd show you the detail of cutting that last piece in there. Obviously it's fairly shallow angle, and there's nothing really symmetrical about it. So what I've done is, I'll show you this. This is the apex that we've got to fit into. So I've come down and put a fairly decent lap of about 1.5 inches down there and put a pencil line. And that height there is about 8 inches. Then I've taken a level and taken a line through to where it meets this sort of barge board type thing, and put a pencil line there, and that measures 1735. Now you can't obviously assume that it's the same the other direction, so I've gone again level line along there to where it meets at that point, and that's 1770. So now what we need is a piece of board that's going to be obviously at least 8 inches deep to cover from that point to that lap. So I've got myself a piece of that, which is this one here, and it only needs to be 8 inches at the centre, so it wouldn't matter if it was a bit skinnier like it is at that end. I wrote the sizes down on here: 1770 and 1735, so that's a total of 343505. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a centre line on this, and then I'm going to measure the 1770 over there, the 1735 over here, and draw a line up to a point 8 inches up from the bottom of that centre line, and then we'll cut it and hope it fits. Let's see. Now sadly, the bit of wood that I picked cut nicely, but then when I picked it up, this bit fell off. It's where there's a knot running through the wood that way. Didn't spot that. I'm going to see if I can get away with it. I'll either glue it up there or nail it. Let's see what room we've got and what there is to nail it to. Right, let's see if this fits. Oh, pretty happy with that. nailed that on. Let's give you a closer look. So it's worked out quite nicely, really. Just nailed that bit back on. That's where it split, right in the middle of the knot. There you go. Looks like there's a gap there, but it's actually a bit of bark. That's the. Maybe I should have picked a slightly wider bit of wood. But that's okay. There we are. So that's that end of the caravan clad. What do you reckon, Ray? Yeah, happy with that. Here's another example of joining the cuts together. I'm just going to slide a level in just up behind there. Just to push it away from its final resting place. I normally draw a line, but you don't even need to do that. Piece at the back just fell out. I'll take the level out. Out of the way. And let's get the nail gun. Pin that into place. In this instance, I'm going to put a little pin at the bottom. Hold them back. I agree, that's a pretty good joint. So I do all of these, just lap them over and cut through the double thickness with them pushed away from the wall. Works nicely. You'll see that there's vents on these caravans. There's four along each side, and they need to be maintained, so I don't want to clad over them. So I've just made these really simple little boxes. They're about an inch. The inside measurements are about an inch bigger than the outside dimensions of there. So they're gonna go over there like that. And I'm simply gonna use a bit of. Well, I've done that one over there already. If you can see, let me just zoom you in. I just put some multi-stick glue on the back and put a couple of blocks underneath just while it sets. I'm using this multi-stick. There we go. You can use, grip fill or any of those kind of glue in a tube. So yeah, put that up there, and then we cut the cladding around that. You can see that's glue's gone off now. Stuck on there nice and tight. I just work my way along with breathable membrane and insulation and just cutting out around them so we can clad around them at the next stage. So I get to the final stages of the caravan, and this is what I've done along here. Built a frame underneath here which I've filled with sheep's wool and covered them up in membrane. And then I've cut these timbers to cover up the end of the stud work and to provide a stop for the cladding on that end. Same over on that corner. And then I've put another piece 4x2 in there which will provide a stop for the cladding to come in along there, same the other end. And then we'll put little pieces in between here which will stop against that and that. And then up here it will stop between that and that. So all the ends of the cladding will meet a timber. So there'll be no exposed ends. And then once the cladding comes up to the top of here, I'll create a sill that comes out at an angle over the top edge all the way along that bay. So that kind of deals with the bay. Just got to finish the top off. There'll be another piece of cladding to go in there, cut at the angles like I did at the other end of the caravan. And I'll put a piece in underneath just to tidy all of that up as well. So that should make quite a nice, tidy finish to this end of the caravan, which was a bit of an issue, how to do it. So I think I found the right solution. So I'm going to get on with that. And there's the final product, if you like. This is all clad all the way along now. Corner posts are all in, and the sill is done. I ended up cutting the sill out of 3 separate pieces, 3x2, and I planed an angle on it so the water can run off. It was a bit of a fiddle, and to get these joints all to meet. And this ended up being made out of a bit of 6x2, again planed at an angle. It's all got a drip groove underneath. You can see, hopefully you can see that along there. There's a groove, which means when the water runs down off this edge and gets to here, the capillary action can pull it back this way. And if there was no groove, it could go all the way back and into there. So you put a groove in there, so when it goes back to there, it can't go uphill. It just has to drip off. There's a drip groove. You find that on the bottom of all windowsills. So yeah, I made that and stuck it on with like a multi-stick type glue, and then I've run a bead of silicone all the way along the back edge, so that waterproofs that. So we're kind of there. It's been a long journey getting this caravan done, and an even longer one filming it and editing it, but I hope it's been useful. And I guess one of the important things to say about it is that it has achieved what we set out to achieve, in as much as we spent the first winter here really cold, lighting the fire every day and getting it warm, which wasn't a problem. We could get it nice and warm, but the heat would just disappear overnight. So it might be 20 odd degrees when we went to bed, and some mornings it was 8 degrees when we got up. That hasn't been the case this year. We've managed to maintain it overnight at a really comfy 16, 17 degrees and more. And similarly in the summer, when it's been really warm out, last year in the summer it got really hot in the caravan. You know, it might be 20 degrees outside, but it'd be 29 approaching 30 inside. But now even when it's hot outside, it stays about the same temperature inside. So it's been a well worth project. And I know there will be people that say there should have been an air gap between the insulation and the walls of the caravan, the actual original walls of the caravan, and I understand that, but really difficult to do that in this setting. And all I can tell you is so far there's not a problem with it. It's doing the job it was meant to do. So I really hope this has been useful to a few people, and feel free to fire your questions our way. There's going to be more little bits and pieces to titillate with as time goes by, but essentially that's it done. I'll leave you with a little bit of footage of the camera of the caravan from various angles. Thanks for watching all 4 videos, really appreciate it, and see you on another one soon.